Good morning. I hope all is well with you. And our subtitle for today is Reverent Joy. First question is, what must we realize about David's dancing? 2 Samuel 6:14 says, David, wearing a linen ephod, danced before the Lord with all his might. And 2 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 5 says, You are all sons of the light and sons of the day. We do not belong to the night or to the darkness. So what must we realize about David's dancing? The note gives us more details. It says David's dancing is a reverent joy before God, has been cited by pleasure lovers in justification of the fashionable modern dance. But there is no ground for such an argument. In our day, dancing is associated with folly and midnight reveling. Health and morals are sacrificed to pleasure. By the frequenters of the ballroom, God is not an object of thought and reverence. Prayer or the song of praise would be felt to be out of place in their assemblies. This test should be decisive. Amusements that have a tendency to weaken the love for sacred things and lessen our joy in the service of God are not to be sought by Christians. The music and dancing in joyful praise to God and at the removal of the ark had not the faintest resemblance of the dissipation of modern dancing. The one tended to the remembrance of God and exalted his holy name. The other is a device of Satan to cause men to forget God and to dishonor him. So now we realize that David's dance back then was to please God, to honor him. So it has nothing to do with the dance we have nowadays, right? The dance we have today is to please Satan. I usually call it the sensual dance we have today, right? And question B says, describe the chorus, procession, and ceremony that accompanied the entrance of the sacred ark into the gates of Jerusalem in the evidence of David's generous hospitality. So Psalms 24:7. Okay, Psalms 24:7 says, lift up your heads, O you gates, be lifted up, you ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. And also 2 Samuel, let's go back to 2 Samuel 6:17-19. They brought the ark of the Lord and set it in its place inside the tent that David had pitched for it. And David sacrificed burnt offerings and fellowship offerings before the Lord. After he had finished sacrificing the burnt offerings and the fellowship offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord Almighty. Then he gave a loaf of bread, a cake of dates, and a cake of raisins to each person in the whole crowd of Israelites, both men and women, and all the people went to their homes. So how can we describe this ceremony? The note says the gates were opened wide, the procession entered, and with reverent awe, the ark was deposited in the tent that had been prepared for its reception. Before the sacred enclosure, altars for sacrifice were erected. The smoke of peace offerings and burnt offerings and the clouds of incense, with the praises and supplications of Israel, ascended to heaven. The service ended, the king himself pronounced a benediction upon his people. Then with regal bounty he caused gifts of food and wine to be distributed for their refreshments. Now the spirit of divine inspiration had rested upon the king, And now, as the last beams of the setting sun bathed the tabernacle in a hallowed light, his heart was uplifted in gratitude to God that the blessed symbol of his presence was now so near the throne of Israel. So that was the way the ceremony was described. And the evidence of David's generous hospitality is that he provided food and wine to the people, right? And let's not forget that he also blessed the people. So I guess that's it for today, and I hope you have a blessed day.